Alright, so today we're going to talk about fractional distance. Okay, let me explain what fractional distance is because it sounds like it's distance, right? And so my answers are always going to be positive, right? Wrong. Okay, fractional distance is a distance, but it's not, it's kind of like what we did yesterday. So yesterday we talked about midpoint, what, right? Say A to B, the midpoint was somewhere in here, right? Okay, and your answer was talking about a point, right? Well, we're doing the same thing today. We're talking about a point. And we're talking about a point that is a fraction. So let me give you an example. So I want to find a point that is 1/4 the distance from A to B. So it's going to be somewhere in here, right? And it'd be on the number line, so your answer might be negative. Okay, so fractional distance is really misleading in that term. So what we're really doing is we're talking about a distance away from a certain point. Most of the time it's from this first point that's given to you. Okay? On the graph over there, the fractional distance from A to B. Alright? A would be your start point. What if it said the fractional distance from B to A? What's your start point? B. Okay? It makes a difference where you're starting. So if I say fractional distance from A to B is from A to B, your start point's A. If I say B to A, well, your start point's B. Okay? Does everybody understand that? In fractional distance, again, it is not positive always. It's not always positive. Okay, sometimes it might be a negative, but we are talking about a certain point. Okay? Great thing about today is I'm fixing to give you a formula that all you got to do is plug numbers in. That's all you got to do. And you have your handy dandy calculator, and you can use your handy dandy calculator.
Hold on. We supposed to write that with number line, right?
You don't have to. Okay?
That's what you wrote.
Here in a minute, I'm fixing to write down a formula. I would like you to write down that formula. Another thing, 1, 2, 7, 8. Those are on your work today also. Okay? So it would be very important that you write those down. All right. Here we go. So, number line, fractional distance. Anytime I got a number line, so your problem's going to look like this. 1/5 the distance from -9 to +8. 1/3 the distance from -9 to +8. Okay, that's what your problem is going to look like when you're talking about a number line. Okay, so here is the formula for fractional distance on a number line. So my new point is equal to, the point we're looking for is equal to your start point, which is the point we're given first, which in this case would be what? -9. In this case it would be -9. Your start point plus the fractional distance, mn, I'll just write it mn, times the absolute value of your first point minus your second point. Here, I got those backwards on. 1, 2. Okay?
That's a plus, right? Because I can't see.
What's that? Yes, this is a plus.
Okay, thank you.
This is times right here. Okay? Now, that sounds really, really complicated, but it's not really, really
So could you
complicated.
put the fraction right there, and then you put the 2 points right there?
You gotta put your start point plus your fractional distance times your start and you're subtracting from your second point. So this is how you do this. Here we go. Let's do number 1. All right, so my new point. What's my start point in number 1? -9. -9 plus, what's my fractional distance? 1/5, right? Times absolute value, what's my first point? -9, what's my second point? -8, okay?
I'm confused.
So all I did was take these numbers and plug them into that formula. So here we go again. Pay attention. Stop writing. start point, -9, plus fractional distance, 1/5, times absolute value of first point, minus, because there's a minus, your second point. Right there, okay? Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna work it, -9 plus 1/5 times absolute value. What's -9 minus 8? It's not positive.
Negative?
It's not -1. Everybody
Same
take,
sign to add.
everybody, same sign, add. Everybody take your handy dandy calculator that you got in your hand, and you type -9 minus 8, tell me what you get. You get -17.
I'm so good.
Okay? Alright, we got -9 plus 1/5. What's the absolute value of -17?
Positive 17.
Alright, everybody take your calculator. Here's how I want you to type this down, because it makes a difference how you write it down. Everybody type -9 plus parenthesis 1 divided by 5, close parenthesis, times 17. Press enter.
Negative 5.6.
What'd you get?
Negative 5.6.
-5.6. So my answer, the number that is 1/5 the distance from -9 to +8 is -5.6, and I'm taking her word for it.
Wait, they're still on.
That's what it is.
17?
You what?
That's what it is, plus 17.
Yes. Is that not what it is? Here, let me get my, that's what you got? Not that I don't trust anybody, but I'm gonna do my math. -9 plus 1 divided by 5, close parentheses, times 17. Yeah, that's, I mean,
I was asking if you put the times 17 in there too, within the calculator, that's what I
Yes.
was asking.
Yes. Okay? Everybody see how you get that? Alright? Alright, let's move on to the second one here. There we go. Alright, help me out. What goes first?
Negative.
Your start point, which is what? -9. So, plus 1/3 times absolute value of what? -9 minus 8. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Alright. -9 plus 1/3 times absolute value. What number goes inside the absolute value sign? What's -9 minus 8? -17. Okay. Alright, I end up with -9 plus 1/3 times 17. Take your handy dandy calculator. Make sure that you put that in parentheses. Alright, so it'll be -9 plus, parentheses, open parentheses, 1 divided by 3, close parentheses, times 17.
Negative 3.3.
Very good. So the distance, 1/3 the distance from -9 to +8 is -3.3. Is that hard? No, that is not difficult. Take the formula, use the formula, plug everything in. Does all this make sense to you? I got start plus fractional distance times start point minus end point absolute value. That's all it is, plug in formulas, plugging numbers into formulas. Okay, that's all we gotta do. Okay, anybody have any questions about number line? Alright, to me, these problems are easier than these problems. There's more to do, but it's easier to me because of the formula and what we're gonna do to these numbers. So I want everybody to pay attention. Before I even write this formula down, I want you to understand. What is this? X or Y?
X.
That's X. What is this? Y. What is this? X. What is this?
Well,
That's the first set of points, right?
yeah.
Second set of points, right? Okay. Fractional distance, which would be M over N. Okay? So we got M over N, we got X1, Y1, X2, Y2, right? Everything's defined, all right? Here's our formula to find. Now understand, this is on a graph, right?
Yeah.
So every point on this graph has a what? Has an X coordinate and a Y coordinate, right? So we're gonna have to find the X coordinate and the Y coordinate with these numbers. All right, so here's how you do this. To find the X coordinate, I'm gonna put XP. This is what you do. You take X1, you add it to M over N, and you multiply that times the absolute value of X2 minus X1. Okay, and you do the same thing with Y to find the Y point. You take Y1, you add it to M over N, and multiply that by Y2 minus Y1. So those are the two formulas that we're going to use. I was getting a breath, sorry. Am I any way to do? I know I'm fast.
Yeah, you in my way now.
I'm sorry, I'm fast. Pull the basketball, you know, what's wrong with me. Alright? Here we go. So I'm gonna find the X coordinate first. So XP is equal to, what's X1? Negative 3 plus the fractional distance, which is 1/5 times absolute value of X2, 1 minus negative 3. Alright? So here we go. Minus a negative makes a plus. Alright? So here we go. Negative 3 plus 1/5 times absolute value of 1 plus 3 is?
Hold up. That's one plus three.
That's 1 plus 3. It's 1 minus negative, which makes it positive. So it started out like this.
He changed the sign.
It started out like that.
Okay, well, can you slow down a little, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And then what made
No,
you?
not your word.
Oh,
What made you make it a positive?
because minus a negative makes plus a positive.
Okay.
Cause it's gonna look funny, right?
You know, you could just draw it upside down triangle, saying,
Yeah.
Can I just do it my way?
yeah,
Thanks.
of course.
So now can I
She
do
said,
this?
of
Can I
course.
put plus now?
Hold
Or do you
up.
want me to go ahead and do this? Does that help? Give you another step? Okay. So I end up with negative 3 plus 1/5 times absolute value of 1 plus 3 is 4, which is just plain old 4. Okay, we know that's 4, right? Do I need to rewrite that down here?
No.
Alright, so here's what I want you to do. Take your handy dandy calculator. Be sure you put parentheses around 1/5. Negative 3 plus, open parentheses, 1 divided by 5, close parentheses, times 4.
Negative 2.2.
Negative 2.2. So my X coordinate is negative 2.2. Okay? Now you guess what you gotta do? You aren't done, because now you gotta find a what? The Y coordinate. Okay, so here we go. Y point equals. Y1 is negative 2 plus 1/5 times absolute value of Y2 minus Y1, 1 minus negative 2. Everybody with me? Alright, so I'm gonna rewrite that. So I'm gonna go negative 2 plus 1/5 times absolute value of 1 plus 2, because minus the negative makes positive. Okay? Alright, we got negative 2 plus 1/5. Do I need to go ahead and write that as absolute value of 3, or can I just write down 3? Okay. Times 3. Everybody take a handy dandy calculator. Type in negative 2 plus parenthesis 1 divided by 5, close parenthesis, times 3. What do you get?
Negative 1.2.
Negative 1.2. Is that right? Negative 1.2? Yes? No?
That's what I got.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
I got negative 1.4.
I got
Yeah, I got
negative 1.4.
negative 1.4.
Well, I'm not very good. Alright, my bad. Here we go. Negative 2 plus 1 divided by 5 times 3. Alright, negative 1.4. Alright, so what does that mean? That means this. My answer is negative 2.2, comma, negative 1.4. And I put that in parentheses. So my answer to number 7 today is negative 2.2, negative 1.4. That means that this point here is 1/5 the distance between these 2 points here. That's what that means. Okay? Alright, y'all ready to do that last one? Y'all wanna try it and then I'll work it?
Yeah.
Alright, go for it. I'll give you a few minutes and then we'll work it together. Yes, ma'am. Do what? We use 84 pluses. CE. I know it's cracked, but it's still works. I see this. Where you been, girl? Where you been? Oh, I don't deserve to get talked to, really. Excuse me? I'm just gonna label my points real quick. There we go. All right, John, I'm not gonna work it, okay? I'm gonna set it up. That's all I'm gonna do.
I can use the restroom now?
Excuse me?
May I use the restroom now?
Yes, ma'am. Focus, Pastor. Everybody got that set up for your X? I'm gonna do the Y down here, okay? plugging numbers in. Alright, I'm gonna start working this. Negative 2 plus 1/3 times absolute value, that changes to 4 plus 2. Okay? That gives me negative 2 plus 1/3 times 6.
Negative 4.
I got to be a nigga.
That gives me negative 2, you got what?
Negative 4.
Negative 2 plus 2 is 0.
Who?
Where'd y'all get negative 4 at?
Wait.
Yeah, see, I got 0 too, I did it 2 times, the first time I got negative 1, the
It's
second time I
0.
got 0.
Look, one, stop
But you
it.
have to put plus before you put the parentheses.
And I just did
Y'all
it.
just put the parentheses.
I just did it.
Oh, yeah, that's what
I
I
didn't
did.
even do the parentheses.
Yeah, you got to put those parentheses. Okay, make sure that you put those parentheses, 'cause if you don't put those parentheses, it's gonna do it all out
That's
of whack.
0.
Okay,
We just established that, dog.
Thanks, Kat.
Stay over there. Ugh.
Thanks, girl.
Go cough on her.
No.
Negative
Yeah, then I'm gonna cough
4
on you.
plus 1/3 times 8. Oh, I better do this, hang on. That ends up being 4 plus 4. Okay, and I end up with negative 4 plus 1/3 times 8. I'm gonna take my handy dandy calculator. Negative 4 parenthesis, negative 4 plus parenthesis 1 divided by 3
Yeah, I'm not
times
gonna do
8.
You say you know?
I got negative 1.3. Is that what y'all got?
Uh-huh.
Negative 1.3.
That's not-
Okay, so my answer is 0, negative 1.3.
I'm not getting these answers.
Are you typing
You're not
it,
putting
are you
it on
typing
the
it
screen?
in
Come up
correct?
with your parentheses.
Yes.